Good evening and thank you for joining us at 11 o'clock. I'm Zach Richter. We're coming to you live from our roof right now here in Menands on this alert day where the snow continues to come down. And take a look behind me at North Albany. Albany is absolutely getting hammered in snow tonight. We've learned this shooting happened at around 6:15 tonight and that one man was shot in the shoulder. Police describing his injuries as non-life threatening. These railroad tracks are currently inactive at the Hayes Road crossing here in East Greenbush, and that's because of that major hole about 3/4 of a mile up the tracks from where we are right now. New at 6, we're hearing the radio traffic between deputies and 911 operators. She was transported earlier tonight, and you can see it's still a very active scene right now. Firefighters have been here for over 3.5 hours. We have just hit that 3.5 hour mark. Just one of the many trees here in southern Berkshire County that just lays here on the ground. Crews working as quickly as they can to get roads back open and power restored. The shooting happening as students were returning home from Thanksgiving break. Students came to find this, bullet holes left in their car. You could see 2 of them right here. Breaking news, an update on a 3-car crash in Pownell, Vermont that happened last Tuesday. You can see all the emergency lights behind me here. They've actually shut Route 51 down, and you can see the tanker here at the scene that's been forced to bring water in since there are no hydrants in the area. This is what's left of that 5-apartment home here, all of it just a pile of debris. One of the deadliest fires Albany has seen in recent years. The terrifying emergency calls ringing out late this morning as firefighters responded to Twiller Street.
I got a victim coming out of the fire building.
5 people killed in the flames, 2 of their bodies discovered inside.
Tough day for the city of Albany. Tough day for our firefighters.
3 children among those lost in the flames, including a 3-year-old girl, a 4-year-old boy, and a 6-year-old girl.
It makes your heart beat so hard. You feel like you're going to have a heart attack when you see a fire. I have never seen a fire like that before. That is a nightmare.
Firefighters responded to the home within minutes after they received the call at 10:42 this morning. Once firefighters arrived on scene, they say the house was fully engulfed in flames, with the victims inside. Crews then going into rescue mode as that fire then spreading to 2 neighboring homes. But that rescue later turning into a recovery mission.
It's a big, loud, like a bang or something. We heard that, a loud noise. The smoke was so thick.
Tonight, we're also hearing from the neighbors who lived in this tight-knit community. The tears ringing out when they heard the news that this family didn't make it.
So friendly, just wonderful people from what I gathered. And it's so sad because, it's such a close-knit street.
Now, this is a live look at the scene tonight. You can see the flowers and the balloons that have been left under that tree right next to the home here in honor of the victims. In that house tonight, you could just see the destruction around the home, with investigators still diving into tonight, looking to piece together what caused this fire. We've also learned here that a firefighter was transported to the hospital here from injuries that he sustained with 1st and 2nd degree burns. His condition is currently unknown, with the family telling us they're expected to hold a vigil for the family tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We're live in Albany. Zach Richter, News Channel 13. Well, Steve, police are calling this a domestic homicide, saying a 60-year-old man killed his own sister. Police finding that 61-year-old woman inside a home today on Hudson Avenue. And after an hours-long standoff, police taking that man into custody late today. Sounds of tear gas filling the Pine Hills neighborhood in Albany this afternoon as police appear to shoot tear gas into a home.
It appears to be like some type of SWAT vehicle in the back, so that kind of made me suspicious.
Police taking the suspect out in handcuffs just before 5 o'clock today. The standoff taking place after Albany police received this call just after 8 a.m.
427 Hudson Avenue between Lake and Quail for female cardiac arrest.
Officers finding a 61-year-old woman unresponsive at a home on the 400 block of Hudson Avenue. Police saying she had a significant head injury. That woman did not survive, as police then went on a hunt for the suspect.
They stopped me and said that, hey, you can't come over here. And the guy looked up. He had like the turtle helmet on, army fatigue, camouflage, definitely SWAT around the backs.
Police shutting down Western Avenue between Quail and South Lake and bringing in the SWAT team. This all after police got information that the suspect was the victim's brother, an inside apartment home at 173 Western Avenue. Police could be seen pointing long guns at the home just before appearing to use tear gas, as officers then took a 60-year-old man out of the home in handcuffs. The standoff also keeping neighbors such as Perry Moore outside of their homes for hours.
It's been a weird day for you. You haven't been able to go home, right?
Not since 1:15, since the standoff happened.
And what were the police officers telling you?
They were saying they had to evacuate people for safety reasons. So, yeah, it's been 4 hours, so.
Now, this is a live look at 173 Western Avenue tonight, that multi-apartment home. Luckily, Perry Moore, along with other neighbors, was let back inside his home just before 6 o'clock tonight. Now, the suspect here has not been formally charged, with police say that 60-year-old man is due in court tomorrow morning for his arraignment. We're live in Albany. Zach Richter, News Channel 13. In a fire like this, every second counts. The shortage of firefighters is nearing crisis levels in parts of the capital region.
It's a big commitment from your family, from your life, that you guys sit there and go, okay, for the next 6 months, I'm going to go to class 2-3 nights a week to be a volunteer fire person and give back to the community, but I'm not going to get compensated for it.
Dozens of volunteer fire departments across the area understaffed, some of them even forced to close down.
This is a coast-to-coast problem with these departments. There are departments going out of service at an alarming rate. That means they have to be absorbed by their neighbors. That just puts more stress on those neighboring departments to have to cover that district.
But it's not just the volunteer departments. Paid ones are struggling too.
Our problem is, as people retire and the positions open up, it takes about 15 months to get someone fully trained and certified to go to the line.
13 investigates headed out to the Broad Albin-Kenneyeto Fire Company in Fulton County. They, along with so many other volunteer departments, are understaffed.
We're actually running with 38 out of 60. So you take that 38, and it sounds like a lot of people, but we have to cover 24/7, 7 days a week.
Brian Cornell is head of recruitment at the department. He says the hardest thing for them as a volunteer department is making sure they have enough firefighters to respond during the day, while most are at work.
If we get a call, they're gone. They're out of the area for the day. So our response around here at daytimes takes a big hit, and it does in most communities.
You guys are probably more likely to have more firefighters in the middle of the night, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nights and weekends, we're pretty decently staffed. Daytimes, I don't want to call it scary, but it's a little nerve-wracking for those of us that are around.
Some fire departments across the country are even closing down, and that's affecting communities here in the capital region.
Hopefully we don't see in this area more departments closing like Fort Johnson, but if we did, I mean, doesn't that mean longer response times?
Absolutely does. Absolutely does.
And that's dangerous for those people?
That becomes very dangerous. So, you know, we don't like to get to where we try to like threaten the public that, well, you better do this or you're in trouble, but it really does come back to the fact that, you know, let's all help out here.
But it's not just the volunteer departments. We sat down with Schenectady Fire Chief George Burns, who says even a large city department is affected.
We're at 120, but we're really running about 14 people short right now that are answering the calls.
Both Brian Cornell and Chief Burns say those who look at firefighting and say that's not for me should take another look.
I can't imagine myself doing anything else.
Some people are a little bit intimidated by the thing about running into a burning building, and I get that. And while that's an important job of firefighters to go in there and put the fire out, not everybody can do that. But there's a job for everybody.
But we do get to help people, and there is no better feeling in the world than helping someone that needs the help.
So what can be done? Albany County Executive Dan McCoy recently announced his plans to build a multi-million-dollar fire training facility in the hopes this will get more people to become firefighters.
If you have the training facilities, it makes it fun for people, right? So you can introduce high school kids to this and bring them down for a day of training, see what it's like to be a firefighter.
Why do you think there's been this change in like demeanor? And obviously we've seen it in the staffing levels.
Someone on the outside, it's hard for them to meet them requirements to be an active firefighter on working a full-time job. So it's like, but then you don't want to pull back the requirements because it's about safety. So if it's about safety, then you can't sit there and, well, if you're a volunteer, you don't need the same training as a paid person. It doesn't work that way, but it's harder to get someone trained.
McCoy is a former firefighter himself. He says you can feel the sense of community while being part of a firehouse. And even though most firefighters do wish they were being paid for being a volunteer, some of these small rural towns just don't have enough money for it. For 13 Investigates, I'm Zach Richter. Kumi, back to you.